Hi, this is Rick Harsh. I've been doing I did a four-part series on this book that I wrote about a babysitter who went missing in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And I said I might appear with an epilogue. And in that epilogue, I may have the solution to the crime. After all these years, sometime during the 90s, I believe, a tape um, appeared of a conversation in a bar in Lafarge, Wisconsin. And if you remember any of what I said about highways, there was Highway 14 where certain things were found that may have implicated suspects. But nobody was able to find out who they were um, until this tape emerged that seemed like it might implicate a couple of people. One was a sort of a ruffian, and the other was kind of a clownish ruffian, sort of a version of Quixote Panza. And it looks like the two of them and maybe another went to La Crosse one night, about an hour's drive from Lafarge, but the nearest big city, so to speak, I mean, not giant. And they either opportunistically came upon this babysitter, um, or chose her because they somehow knew her from a party or something like that, which doesn't seem to fit Evelyn's social behavior. So probably it was an opportunistic crime. Maybe they knew that there were a lot of houses on the outskirts of town that were relatively new and didn't have curtains in yet, and they could kind of scope out the properties and see if anyone was home and burglarize them. Who knows what their motives were, but they took Evelyn, and from what the little bit the tape said. Now, why was there a tape in a bar? Well, there was a musical event that was being taped, and sometime after the music was done, there was still a tape recorder, and it caught a bit of a conversation in which Sancho Panza implicated the Dark Quixote, who had committed suicide probably 1967, I think it was, that he committed suicide. And it didn't come to the police in time to interview this guy either. He died, and well, the tape was never investigated. The man was never questioned. Neither man was questioned. And so in the early 21st century, it became more widely known, and speculation turned to enhanced speculation. Speculation with some grounding to it. And I spoke with a librarian from that town, and she believes that pretty much the case was solved. They know who did it. They just had no way of finding out by then where the body might have been deposited, where the hole was dug. And this is a area of farmland and lots of valleys and some high ground that the farming takes place on. And, there are a million places to put a body. I think there's a good line for your opening for your next noir book. There are a million places to bury a body. Why they chose my backyard, I'll never know. So that's it. That's the story. That's what happened. A couple people came and took her away. did what they did. Probably raped her and murdered her and dug a hole and threw her in the ground. Fed her to pigs. You just never know. That's it.